Hi, this is Ron from POC Culture. Thank you all for speaking with me today.
Absolutely.
Nice to be here.
QUI, I'm a big fan of the work that you did with Raya and The Last Dragon. It was obviously such a personal film for you. And I'd love to hear for this film, what part of the story really resonates with you personally?
When it comes to this one, like it's definitely the father-son aspect, like I'm a dad and I'm also the son of someone. So it's the opportunity to write, like everyone's favorite father-son story. And when given that opportunity, I wanted to leap in because I want to be able to give this gift to my kids for sure.
That's awesome. Don, you've created some of my most favorite films ever. Big Hero 6, Moana, Raya. All of those have very much like a family theme to it. And Kui just touched on some of that. Could you tell me a little bit about what really drew you to this story?
Well, it started with a father-son, because and when I rolled off Moana and started to think about what the next, the film was going to be, what was on my mind then and now was just what kind of world will my kids inherit, and what kind of world did I inherit from my father? And that led to this whole thematic of legacy and the potential of telling an environmental story through the lens of 3 generations. It felt interesting and unique, not just a father-son story, but a father-son grandson story. And I thought it could lend itself to some really relatable human conditions that would be fun on an adventure, and kind of offset, because it's so relatable, that the family dynamics offset some of the weirder places we were going, because I knew Strange World was going to be weird. I didn't know it was going to be this weird, but I knew it was going to be weird. And but we needed relatable guides to guide us through it, and I felt like those relationships would be very helpful, and also just fun as well, like Kui alluded to. It just, when you pack a family, because on one aspect, this is sort of a family road trip movie. Yes, they're saving the world. Yes, they're going, it's an adventure, but on one level, it is, a family kind of crammed into a big airship, but crammed in there and just having to get along and seeing what happens with that push and pull is very fun.
That's awesome to hear. Now, speaking of the environmental element of it, Roy, and you have this really cool background of like the animation as well as the like wildlife documentary. How did you kind of bring those 2 experiences together that allowed you to contribute to this film?
Well, I mean, fortunately, right after Big Hero 6, they called me from across the street. Across the street is the studio side, and they said, "Hey, we're working on a film right now. Would you like to come out and give us a hand?" And it happened to be the Disney Nature folk, and I went over and started working with an amazing director named Lu Chuan. And that's how Born in China was born, basically. And that's how I started getting involved with the nature film end of things. And I've always been a big believer in the conservationist movement. And I was so happy when Don brought this idea forward, because there's such a great emphasis on how we are going to live and how are we going to leave the world for the next generation. And I just think that there's such an important message there, and at the same time wrapped up in such a fun adventure and full of heart and comedy.
Well, all those themes really resonate with me. I love what I've seen so far. I can't wait to see more. Congratulations. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.